Welcome to Tailgate Talk. Ritter, Tasker, Wags, the whole crew back together. Wags joining us via the phone, but it's always nice to get you on to chat, to catch up, to, find out how baseball is going for you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate the way we have to do it. Unfortunately, getting into the studio is tough, but, eventually we will make it good. We'll have a couple on locations, and we'll make it sound much better from me.
The last time we all got together was out at Buck Rub, which was pretty cool. We're going to talk a bit about Buck Rub today. Of course, they're the main sponsor, title sponsor of the show, Buck Rub Archery, Buck Rub Outfitters off of Silvernail Road in Pewaukee. And I know both myself, Tasker, been out there recently with some stories I'm sure that we're going to share here coming up. We did a little fishing this past weekend to get to, but what's been new with Paul Wagner?
Well, I just got all my fields sprayed, like we talked about. I'm going to go whitetail. No fishing right now for you, unfortunately. Yes, everything is sprayed, going to be tilled up, and I figure if I get it done before that first week in August, I should be ready as hunting season comes through. Went with Whitetail Institute products this year. Passed on the Antler King, passed on the other pieces that I've used before in the past. This year will be a 100% 3 food plots, all with different variations of Whitetail Institute products.
When we caught up last week or earlier this week, I was just excited to hear that you were active and you were getting after it. You were getting everything kind of laid out. And, I don't know, what I keep hearing is that it's like, I don't know, somewhere between like 10 and 12 weeks for full maturity for a lot of this stuff. So right now is a great time to be out there and getting everything in the ground.
Well, yeah. And when you guys were talking about, it really got me excited because we were talking about that buck moon. And now I'm starting to see it. I literally saw a nice velvet buck yesterday as well. So now I'm starting to see them. Corn is getting higher, obviously knee high by the 4th of July, the old saying. But I mean, they're up to about the shoulders and the necks by now. And a lot of those those velvet bucks aren't jumping necessarily in. They're running the outskirts of it right now. So very exciting time on the whitetail side.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's, now it is so high. You're talking about 4 to 5 feet tall corn stalks. You can't really see through the fields like you used to, just even a month ago, where you could kind of see them, above the shoulder, kind of peeking over the corn stalks. But now you really got to look down those different trailways and, see them on the edges, and, maybe they're going to be browsing and you're able to see them over some tall grass and whatever, but you gotta have a closer eye nowadays.
Yes.
Here's one that I came across a news story, and I believe I think this was the Meat Eater, maybe I saw it. Talking about archery and bow hunting. Garmin's the Zero, the range finding sight thing, whatever. Talking about whether those, are they fair chase? Is using something like that fair chase? What do you, I remember I saw that and I was like, I want to bring it up on Tailgate Talk and see what you guys think. What do you think about that? Those range finding sites?
For me, I think it's all good. All's fair in love and war, basically what they say. I think it's okay. We got to move on. I mean, things progress, things get better. Intel that we've taken now, cameras via the cell phone, not going out before they used to say cell cameras or cameras with cards were bad. Now they're saying we want you to go out and grab your card because when you have your card, you scare animals away. But now you don't have to move at all. So I think as technology increases, I think you roll with it and take advantage of it. So my vote, if we were doing another contest, a weekly contest, my vote is it's fair. Ritter, it's fair.
Because you believe that there's 8 states that don't allow them, that they're actually illegal. They're not allowed to be used in 8 different states.
Yeah, I guess I'm not surprised by that, though, because there's some states where you can't use trail cameras either.
Right.
So I don't know. My whole thought is, and I think when you talked about this the first time, just like in passing, not on the show, but I said you could easily get me so fired up about this because I think the way that article was written was something about the language in the restrictions for hunting is like legal and no unethical advantages, or it was written something like that. Well, my whole thought is, don't we always want to make sure that we're doing everything to our advantage to make clean, ethical kills? So if you're getting instant readouts on the distance of what a deer is standing in front of you. I mean, I just think about last year when, I ranged at 42 and maybe the deer was at 46 and I ended up shooting low. Would that have been corrected if I had that updated sight on my bow? I don't know, man. I'm all for it. It's 2022 and I know that these have been out for like 5 years now. I think they released in 17 or 18. Mm-hmm. My whole thing is I'm trying to take every advantage that I can get so that I can do the best job as a hunter and make the best shot possible.
I mean, I think you still have to have the mechanics down anyway. You still have to have all that right. So, I mean, it's not like a guarantee type situation, and the mechanics still have to be there. But, yeah, let's be real. This, range finding site, it's you're pricing out a lot of people with this product.
Oh, yeah, it's $1,000 for this thing.
I mean, so to some people, it's more than their bow, just for the site.
Without a doubt, or double what their bow costs.
Which, I mean, reminds me of exactly what's happening in, electronics world, in the fishing world of sorts, which is kind of crazy. Just announced this week that a major muskie tour is now banning forward-facing sonar. So they've already started their season, they've allowed it, but there's 2 events left, including their championship, and now they're jumping on and saying that forward-facing sonar is illegal on their tour, the PMTT, the Professional Muskie Tournament Tour.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, see, and that's hard, because how do you make that change in the middle of the season?
Well, they're doing it.
Well,
give me some of the locations for this muskie tour.
Let's see what's left here. Eagle Lake and Three Lake. Looks like their last 2.
Three lakes, like up in Three Lakes, Eagle River area, or Three Lake?
It's Three Lake. So they say that apparently there was a huge stink after a couple people spanked the rest of the field by boating 10 muskies over 2 days in the PMT tourney on Eagle Lake / Three Lake. That's what the story says.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
So it's a bitter thing. It's a sour poor sport thing. They just can't afford it, so now they're mad.
That's what it usually. That's usually the root of all changes, isn't it?
Right.
When we go from compound bows to crossbows to bow fishing to anything, it's the root is somebody is upset. Someone had their feathers ruffled.
Well, and even with that, that's again, that forward-facing sonar thing is another one of those technologies that it gets so expensive. I mean, when you're talking about, entry to just have a graph that's going to be able to be capable with it, you're talking at least $1,000 there, if not more. Then you got to add the second, unit that actually is the forward-facing sonar, which attaches to it. That's another $1,500 to $2,000. I mean, you're looking $3,000 tops out of the box to have forward-facing sonar, whether it's live scope or mega or whatever it is that you have. And I mean, that prices out a lot of people with, how they do things, which is why, my Garmin is, capable of live scope. I don't have live scope on it, but I've kind of figured out a way, and I think in a kayak it's possible to do it, and on a big boat it's not as much, but that I can use between my clear view and my side view, or my down imaging and side imaging, the combination of them in the way that I do in the certain settings, I can almost use it like a 360. Because Tasker, you got to see a bit of it firsthand when we were out this past weekend and did a little fishing. How I was just able to basically spot, there's fish right here, and pitch a drop shot basically right at them, and
within 30 seconds you had a fish in the boat.
Yeah, video game fishing. I was able to see them down imaging, see them side, and just poof, right, knew right where they were at.
Yeah, and that's the difference between that Garmin Striker that I have compared to what you have. I mean, mine is the entry level. It's enough for me to kind of figure out how to use sonar and how to locate fish and get an idea of the depth of the water and all that stuff.
Just finding structure.
More than enough.
Yeah, to me, that is that Striker 4 that you have in your kayak is an awesome kayak fish finder, because it's exactly that. It's going to help you find structure, and that's find structure. That's how you catch fish. Actually, marking and seeing fish. Like I've said, that bass that I pulled up in that one when I called the shot of it, I thought I'm like, it's either really small bass or crappies. My first thought was crappies, and I was like, well, I got a drop shot. Let's throw it on there and see if a crappie will take this drop shot. And then, sure enough, it was a small bass. But anywho, let's see. We're going to talk about some stories to share. Obviously, we'll get back to more of our fishing expedition. But I was out at Buck Rub last Friday, and I got to tell you a funny story with my wife's permission of how this went down, and I felt so stupid about this situation. And I'm sure that We all may have been there at some point in time or another. Of course, Tailgate Talk brought to you by friends at Buck Rub Outfitters off of Silverdale Road in Pewaukee, which is where I was hanging out last Friday. A little date night with my wife. We talked about it last year on the show. My wife got a bow. She got a Bowtech bow out there. Kaz and the whole crew got it all set up. She was busy finishing some schooling stuff, so she has not had a time to shoot or really get back into things. So it's been about a year since she shot her bow. It's just been
wild?
Sitting in storage, yeah. So she's been wanting to go, and every time that we've wanted to go, it's been on a Sunday, which Buck Rub's closed on Sunday. So it hasn't happened. And I don't want to shoot in the backyard with her until I knew that we were fully dialed in at least 20 yards and all that stuff. So we got to do the finishing touches of sighting, and we decided, okay, we're going to do that. We'll go shoot a bit. We'll do some sighting in, and we'll go grab some dinner, make it a nice little date night. So we get out there, and we're going to the indoor range. And we get set up, and I'm not going to shoot at first. I've got my bow just hanging, and she, pulls back. And I'm like an idiot staring downrange and watching her shoot. And she, totally misses a target. I'm like, what?
Not a good start.
And she's like, oh, I guess I'm rusty. And then she pulls back another arrow and does, the same thing. And, misses all over again. I'm like, okay, something is completely off. Dawns me then, I'm like, oh, I should probably look and watch, stance and check. Yeah. Because, when you don't shoot for a while, all of the mechanics are completely off. My wife was standing, not sideways, facing the target. She was squared up to the target and pulling the bow in front of her.
I love that.
Okay? And I'm like, okay, well, let's fix this. And then she's, hitting the target and feeling good. But I'm still, something is just off. And she keeps shooting, low and to the right of where she's shooting. I can't figure this. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I got to move so I move the sight around. Same thing. She's still shooting the same low and right, but she's shooting really tight groups, good groups, but it's always consistently off this, and I just couldn't get it figured out to why she was doing it. And I'm still looking, and I'm like, and I keep telling her, I'm like, can you get your nose should almost touch your string. So she finally trying to nose it up so her nose touches her string, and she's still missing a little bit. Kaz comes walking into the range to chit-chat and say hi, and he takes one look at my wife and he goes, Are you looking through the peep? And she's like, oh, I forgot that thing was there.
Oh, my gosh.
I never thought anything just complete. But it was one of those things that, we both laughed it off about how it went down, but the craziness that he just, in an instant, one look was like, are you looking through the peep? I just, like an idiot, didn't even think of it. But I was still like, oh, that makes sense why she seemed like something was off. Once she started looking through the peep, it was freaking like an absolute laser. She's shooting perfect, right on. We got it dialed in, and I'm just like, oh my God, I felt so stupid that I didn't catch that. But that's why it's great to shoot at places like that.
You don't even. I wouldn't even think about that, I guess, unless you're looking at somebody and then you see them not with the peep in front of their eye. What would even make you think of that?
I guess and that's. I'm in that situation. I don't know if either of you have ever been there with whether it's kids or significant others that are doing something I don't want to be that coach type person that's telling you what you're doing wrong or seeming like being bossy or oh, do this. I'm trying to just be patted and be like, oh, this is fun. You're not being so serious about things. So I didn't think to be serious because I was trying not to be serious.
Yeah. Wait, did you ever have that when your kids were getting into it?
Or if you would have even if you would have said, are you looking through your peep? You're like, what are you talking? Yes, I am.
Right.
So you got to be careful too, because then around here, my daughters they won't talk to me for 2 weeks if I.
Yeah. Did you ever have any Wags? Did you ever have any experiences like that as your kids were starting to get into it?
They were, and but when you've got to be very cautious, and you not yet, but literally with a younger guy. With my girls, it was very hard because I wanted everything to progress at an 8 level, and it was progressing at a slow level. And then I had to go back and realize that even as simple as the recoil of shooting a gun, there's so many little things that we all have learned through the years that we take for granted. So it's a really good point that you just made about that, because we want to teach and we want to help. And we want to express how to make my girls enthusiastic about it. But I have to remember you have to go to step 1 before you can go to step 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned. You got to take let's just say baby steps. Start from the beginning, and if you don't know it, work it out.
It's all those little tiny details about things, whether it's shooting a bow, shooting a gun, casting a line. You know what I mean? Like there's minute little things and muscle memory that a lot of us have from doing something for so long. You just don't think about it because it's second nature. And so when you're helping instruct someone or getting someone involved in something, you know, I feel bad that I missed that, you know, because she was going like, what is wrong with me? And her first thought was, she's like, oh, I was like embarrassed of like, oh, what's wrong with me? Apparently I can't do this. Or was that a fluke? Or like, am I embarrassing you? And I'm like, God, no, never. You're not going to embarrass me. Like, you know, she goes, I'm sure Kaz has seen worse. I'm like, I guarantee he's seen people in there that have done way worse than not looking to repeat. Like, you're fine.
Like when all those kids were there for the summer camp while we were out there the last time. I mean, I'm sure he sees all kinds, you know.
And then to make it even more embarrassing, you'd think that neither of us have ever touched bows, because I went out there and I broke an arrow because I had a little slip. Though. I mean, I was shooting a 35-yard shot, and I just like flinched something I barely missed and slung over the top of one of the targets, and must have just been the right situation. Went over, it hit the ground, like flew into the tree that was like out in the back, and just hit the tree right and completely just snapped off. It was so weird though, because like I get out there. And there's no, like, because I shoot with the lighted nocks. I couldn't find any light. I'm like, what's going on? And then I find my arrow shaft laying next to the tree, but there's no fletchings on it.
On one of your brand newly refletched.
It was exactly one of the brand new, like, I just picked them up and took them from the shop into the range that exact day, and it broke off. And then I couldn't find the fletchings. I'm like, what is this so weird? Like, I can't. It wasn't until later on I found it. The fletchings were way over on the opposite side of the. So it just tells me that the arrow hit the tree, like it T-boned the tree and snapped. But the reason I couldn't see the lighted knock was the knock actually came out,
blew off,
and the battery. So I couldn't find the knock or the battery. Yeah. They were both completely gone.
Wags, I'm telling you, I think we need to invest in fletching. Like stock, I mean, there's got to be like there's probably like a fletching NFT or something out there. I swear Ritter goes through more fletchings in a year than anybody else that I know.
I agree 100%. Every time we talk,
I don't know how it happens, but I feel like you're always either ripping one or you blow through a target and they just don't hold up or whatever.
A couple of them last year were when you and I were shooting the 3D course.
Yeah.
And I had just shot right next to your arrow.
Yeah.
And so my fletching caught your arrow and tore it. I know at least two of my arrows that happened to. Another one I think was weird. It hit brush or something on the way through something.
Yeah. I don't know. That's how it goes, though. So, all right, I do have a question for you. So I know we could probably spend a bunch of time on this, but Wags, you shoot rages, right?
Correct.
Okay, and Ritter, I know you shoot, your fixed head. Yeah. So I'm in this predicament, right? And I've spent a ton of time. I've probably spent hours in the last couple weeks looking and researching and trying to do all of these things to try and figure out what I'm going to do. I've seriously considered switching to a mechanical head this year. And there's a reason for it. So twice now I've shot bucks that I have not found. Okay. And I know that part of it is probably shot placement. But the other side of it is I don't know if it's because I'm shooting, a 1 1/4 inch cut or whatever it might be. My philosophy on this is I would rather take the risk with a mechanical head not opening and have the advantage of a larger cutting diameter and take that kind of advantage, those pros and cons, and move to a mechanical head, then continue shooting a fixed head with a smaller cutting diameter and potentially continue losing deer in the woods. And I know that a lot of it is shot placement, but am I onto something here? Does that make sense for a pros and cons and outweigh the negatives and the positives?
For me, I am literally, it's so funny you bring this up. I am literally going to I'm going to a fixed blade this year. I'm going to a fixed blade. I will take the smaller. I will go with the 1 7/8 inch cut instead of the 2 1/4 or whatever I had. I think one of them was 2 3/8. I'm going to the 1 7/8 fixed blade because the exact reason why you said I will take the chance of an unopened. I don't like that. I used to use Muzzy fixed the whole time, the 3 or the 4 blade.
Sure.
I didn't care, the 125 grain. I'm going back to the fixed blade for that exact reason why you said you would go to the expand, or you would avoid the fixed blade and get the bigger cut.
Yeah, and I want to go fixed blade because exactly the same thing. I don't want to run the risk of, and I've had it happen to my brother where expandable, they didn't open up and stuff. And with me, it's all about the kinetic energy of things and how my arrows and everything's set up. Like I'm going for a pass through, or I'm going for something that, like, even if I don't, I'd lodge in and it would cause more damage. Again, I shoot the Mangus stingers, so mine are, it's like an inch and it's like 1 1/16 inch cutting. But I mean, it's got like the little bleeder things on the side.
Sure.
Those bleeder, like tiny ones on the side, are actually designed to break off.
Right.
So I mean, those will hit, and if those are meant to not hang up your arrow, to help with and more of a pass through instead of getting hung up. Where some of those like 4-blade or some of the other ones that's advertised as bleeders, they're not designed to break off like the Mangus stingers are.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are going to be the fixed blade guys, and I'm going to end up being the mechanical head guy now. But what about this then? So I was talking to our buddy Vince, who I'm going to do this outdoor league with. He actually shoots a hybrid where there's a fixed blade that's kind of like your bleeder blade, and then there's also an expandable that Muzzy makes. It's just called a hybrid. And he's like, this is the exact reason that I shoot that, because if it doesn't open, there's still an inch cut. But if it does open, then you have an inch cut one way and a inch and a half or 2-inch cut the other way when the blades actually expand.
Sounds similar to the turkey broadheads that I shoot, the Rage, the turkey ones they've got. So they open up, with the mechanical part, but then they've got what I call the meat hooks on them. Like, it's actually, the blades come out, but they're actually set as like hooks, and so that's designed to pin the turkey down essentially when you shoot it.
Right.
But I mean, it still tears and rips through.
Sure. So I don't know, man. I feel like I've done this twice now where I have put what I thought would be good shots. And I think what pisses me off the most about this is you watch these hunting shows and these guys don't make good shots and they still find the deer. It's like, I don't know how they get so dang lucky.
I agree with you 100%. And they go, see, this is how it happens. And then you have to put this little app on. This is where it goes. And they find everything.
Do they, though? Do they really find that?
No.
Or do they go out the next day, shoot a different animal, and then go and track that one down?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like with bucks that would be hard to do. I mean, you can see them.
To some extent.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. How detailed are you actually watching?
I am, because I'm a psycho about it. So I feel like I watch pretty closely. But I do think that they're also not showing the ones that they don't find.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You know that they're missing animals. You know that that's happening to them. That's the part that I hate about outdoors television. Says a guy that has a YouTube channel about things, but that I show all the screw ups. I show the misses.
Right.
That's the whole point. Is it's real. Like you don't always slam them. We were just out this last Sunday. We didn't slam them. It was a grinder of a day. We still caught fish, but it was a grinder. And those fish that we caught, we should be thankful for because of the terrible conditions we were fishing under.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's something about that I just can't get over. And I feel like I've already experienced that heartbreak of not finding a deer. And I feel like there's a reason that they're as popular as they are. And I know that I've probably watched 10 videos last night on this mechanical that I'm looking at. I would say 7 of them said, yes, use that one. And 3 of them were like, oh, well, the blades get damaged and blah, 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 whatever. And it's like, well, that's after the deer is dead already. I mean, if it's expanded and it's gone through a shoulder blade or whatever, it's already done its job. And I'm okay with, if they're $50 for a 3-pack or $40 for a 3-pack, I'm okay with the $15 that I've lost because it's worth that animal to me.
That's true. Which one are you looking at?
I'm actually looking at, I do like the G5s. I've always shot their 3-blade that they have, and I've seriously considered the Mega Meat that they have, which is a rear deploying. So upon impact, the blades shift backwards. So as it's penetrating the deer, the blades shift back and lock into place then. So it's slightly different. And I guess the reason that I'm doing that is I like that it's still a 3-blade. So there's more of that. Instead of just a 2-blade, it's actually going to a 3-blade expandable. And I don't know, man, some of these like blood trails and like exit wounds that I've seen on these are just unbelievable. So I don't know. It's so hard to make a decision because, I mean, could you be okay with any broadhead you shoot? Most likely. But just locking in and getting used to one is the thing that you just got to take a chance on. And until you actually do it for yourself, how do you know
That's true.
what you're going to think of it?
All right. Well, look for your recommendations. Is there a specific mechanical? Or basically, I guess I'm going to ask, where do you sit on this? Are you mechanical or are you fixed blade? And what are your recommendations? Hit us on our socials @On the Tailgate. You can drop an email as well. It's posted a link in the bio. And yeah, we want to know about that. Of course, you're listening on the iHeartRadio app again. You can use the talkback feature. It's a little microphone that's right there on the player. Where do you sit with? Are you fixed blade? Are you expandable? What is the recommendation for you? Hit us up on there. You know, anytime we get talking about hunting, Tasker gets super excited. And you know, what are we at now here? A month and a half.
I think we're at 50 days.
Opening day. Wow.
Let's see here.
He's got the ticker.
That's just absolutely. I mean, it's crazy to think how fast
49 days. Yeah.
My brother-in-law texted me the other day. He's the one that lived in New Orleans and said, "Who's hosting the Packers Saints preseason game?" And I brain exploded. I'm like, "Oh, football's that's a thing. It's already almost here. Like it's crazy. You know how fast the year's flown by. All the things that are going on. You know, I'm looking now. I mean, we're less than a month away from headed to Canada to go fish.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a tournament here this weekend that I'm fishing, and it's just like
this year is just. I mean, it's August basically. I know it's the 30th or whatever, but boy, it's basically August, and before you know it, it'll be September. Wags is going to have beautiful crops growing. He'll be able to just peer out with his binoculars in the backyard. And yeah, man, I don't know, dude. It's just crazy.
And you guys are going to be sitting there, and King's going to be a 30-pointer or whatever what do you call him? King?
King, yeah.
I have not seen that guy yet.
No, the last sighting and last picture that I saw of King was actually our buddy John Resnack. Yeah. Rez's grandparents live close to where our studios are.
Yeah.
And he had spotted him there. That was the last picture I had of King from last fall. So I mean I didn't see him all winter and have not seen him so far yet this spring. But I mean I guarantee once that rut kicks in, he'll be here because it was King and then there was another big 8-pointer that were both here and they were like chasing does behind our studio almost every day. I mean it was crazy. If it were legal to deploy a boat in the city of Greenfield, where our studio is, I could have, I guarantee it, got my boat out of my vehicle, walked to the wood line that's like next to us, next to our property, waited in the woods there for King to chase the does down the wood line because he chased them into those woods back one day and I watched them work their way like down toward the street. And I was like, I could have gotten out there in time, set up post at the end of it, and the wind was perfect for me. Would have never known I was there.
Yeah, it'll be exciting, though. But I don't know, man. I'm seeing a lot of deer still. You know, it's been so hot again. We're going through this hot streak where they just haven't been out. But I saw a couple yesterday, a couple the day before, just getting in early. And
yeah, y'all know that, like, my normal show I do, I'm in super early. I mean, I'm driving into work, around 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been seeing deer just about every day, on my commute. And this isn't. I drive through the city. Like I'm talking like urban city areas, and there's just a lot of deer out and deer moving around. And I'm always seeing them on the road. The road kills as I'm going to and from lakes to put the boat in and stuff.
Yeah, Wags, you been seeing a lot though.
No, I haven't, but since you mentioned that buck, like I said earlier in the conversation, that buck moon really did start some things up, and I did see some yesterday again, but I'm seeing more deer movement, and I'm very happy because you just said deer kills. I haven't been seeing that many road kills yet, and I'm happy. I'm optimistically I'm hoping that doesn't happen. And I know the time period isn't right, and the fawns haven't been kicked out yet. I mean, I know the timeline doesn't fit yet, but yeah, I've been seeing deer, but I've been recently seeing horns, and I'm very, very excited about that. I've
been seeing a lot less kills as well, and I wonder if that was just the end of the birthing cycle there, that the deer were much more active, or they were just getting up on their feet trying to get a bunch of nutrients in for the end of their gestation period. Yep. I don't know, but I have not. I think they cleaned a lot of that up, and I don't think I haven't seen that many. A few. So I don't know. That's good.
Plus, if you hit it, you're gonna be out of commission with your vehicle for about 5 months because they can't find parts.
Yeah, you ain't got no kind of parts out there.
People are slamming on their brakes. I don't want to hit that deer.
Yeah,
it's not
the
worth
6 that I could have hit on my way from Southern Door to Northern Door County when I was up fishing the last tournament last month.
Yeah.
That was just insanity. My wife got excited, though. Friday when we were going to Buck Rub, we were going to pull in. The yard right next door was Mama and 2 fawns. Still spotted out fawns.
Wow.
They were running towards Buck Rub.
Yeah.
Like, well, you hang out long enough, they'll come around. We see them on the 3D course from time to time.
Yeah.
I drove by there the other day. We were still back in town, and I came by, and there was a doe right underneath Kaz's, right underneath the, I don't know if that's a muddy blind. That's a.
Oh yeah.
Yep. There was a doe right underneath there.
Wow.
Is this a setup? This is a setup. He's trying to get people to come in.
Yeah.
Cue the doe.
It was actually just a 3D deer target, though,
Yeah.
Wags. That's what it was.
So it was one of those DNR planted mechanical ones.
Yeah.
The robotic ones they put out in fields.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to talk a bit about fishing and get into that. I know we finally got a chance to get together and hit the water, myself and Tasker, this past weekend after hearing me talk about kayak fishing and my kayak and how I go about things for like over a year on the show. Finally got a chance to get out and see it in person. What honest thoughts, feelings? Did you have fun? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a blast, man. I mean, in the first half hour that we were out there, I boated that nice, like, 16.5-inch largemouth, and I was thinking, I don't know. I mean, I guess these guys aren't crazy talking about using chatterbaits all the time and putting a little rubber on the back of it, and it's like, all right. I mean, I think this is going to be a great day. And then that was all that I caught, and that was in the first half hour. But I mean, it just goes to show, like, I'm very open about this. I just don't know that much about, like, actually finding fish and, fishing the right parts of lakes and all of that stuff. But we get out there and we're like, all right, we're going to go right over there and just start casting in this direction. And it was within, I think, honest to God, I think it was my 5th cast.
Something like that, yeah.
And I had that nice bass in the boat, and I'm thinking we're going to just tear it up today. The storms came in, and I was thinking, I don't know, maybe they're active and maybe they're hunting, and
it could have gone one of two ways with that. I thought, depending upon how dirty the water was, and it was very dirty, that it could have been a slow day, or exactly you said, it could have been, something got him shook up and got him going. But I more felt like it was going to be slow, which is where I was really excited when caught that one right away. I'm like, okay, cool, perfect.
Right.
All right, this is going to be a good milk run for us this morning. But it definitely turned into a grinder.
Yeah, and so I don't know, man. I had a blast. It was nice to get up and get out there early, and that's not typically how I end up fishing. So it was nice to get out there early and to just get on the water and see what would happen right away first thing. And I don't know what we fished for, probably 4.5 hours, something like that.
I don't even think it was quite that. I think we were on the water 6:37. We were probably rock and rolling something.
Off at 10:30.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it was. So, did you have a bunch of storms by you last Saturday night into Sunday, Wags?
We did. We got hit pretty good. And again, how does that affect the water? Does it turn over the water?
Oh yeah, it was chocolate milk. It was really, really dirty, which is why, I mean, started. I was hopeful I could have got a topwater bite going, but because it was just so messy and everything was so turned over, I wasn't going to be able to make it happen. When ultimately with the dirty water, that's why I switched over to go to a black blue. I mean, that was the color change for me that helped get on the fish when it's so dirty, which you'd think that lighter colors would actually work better, but contrary, most times when it's darker, stained water, you go with darker colored baits because it's just, they're seeing that profile, and sometimes that lighter color just gets lost in all of the stuff that's floating around in the water. It was definitely a grinder of a day. Again, like I said, it was good to be out, but storms like that are always really, really touchy as to how it's going to be. And I mean, the water was so high, it just completely changed the game. And I think that's ultimately what did us in, was just, it was such a drastic shift in water. Had we had more time today, I think we definitely could have grounded out and figured out some more and caught some more fish, but we just needed more time to kind of get it figured out. The one thing that did step onto me and I wanted to talk about on the show here was something that happened on the water that day.
Let me preface this.
What was water temps? What were the water temps?
Like 71.
When those storms. Okay, so was it 75, 76 prior to this?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it was. I think the water stirred, and it definitely dropped the water temperature quite a bit and got it dirty. Yeah. All right, you want to preface my story, Tasker?
All right, Wags, have you ever stood up while you're on the water and shouted at the top of your lungs at a fellow boater?
No, boy.
All right.
No, I have not.
All right, I'm not going to say anything else.
Not.
Tasker got to
No.
He got to witness me get extremely heated, and it was
Really?
I think rightfully so.
I agree.
It was absolutely rightfully so. So here's the scenario: we're on the water. Tasker and I both in kayaks. We're fishing just a little bit off of an island, and we're probably 30 yards from each other, or something like that. 20 yards.
Yeah.
We're not too far away from each other. About 100 yards away from us is another boat that's just idling along with three guys that were fishing, and I'm sure they were just kind of like watching electronics. So they were, kind of getting themselves in order to make a run down to a different part of the lake.
Yeah.
There's a ski boat flying around with about 5 people on it and a person on skis. Okay, so we're next to it. So we've got an island. We've got us about 20 yards from the island. Another 100 yards away from it is this other boat that's idling along. Then you've got an entire lake all on the other side of this. This ski boat comes through full frickin' tilt and cuts right between the two of us. Right between the two of us. So the guys that were fishing that were in the boat, he stands up as it's coming. He starts screaming kayaks and pointing at us. No budge, no slow, no turn, no nothing. I get it. I'm also concerned for them. Bottom line is that is absolutely illegal to go that close to other boats. And absolutely dangerous to do it close to kayaks like that at that speed. And then add on top, while you're pulling a skier, you're putting your person that you pulled behind your boat at danger. You hit any one of us, that person is going to be extremely... It was just an absolutely stupid situation, and I got... You tell I'm getting heated just telling the story. I was so mad. I just stood up and I screamed, I think, in obscenity, with my hands up as they went by.
I know for sure there were a couple.
And I told Tasker, as they went all the way past, I knew they were going to the other end of the lake. They were going to turn around, reset, come back. I said, if they come right back through here, I'm having words.
Yeah.
And as they were coming right back at us, I stood up and I'm trying to wave at them and flag and trying to do everything. They did not even care. Same thing. Full tilt. They went another 50 yards from us again. It was almost like it was intentional. I was so pissed. Just do not do that. Like, I can't believe that someone would be absolutely that ridiculously first dumb and dangerous on the water. And I think there was at least one kid that was in the boat with that. It was, just telling the story. It's the point, like, everyone should be required to take boater safety, even if it's not like take an online course to learn the rules of the water. Me getting upset with this is not me saying that I own the water and you have to stay away from me. Just stay a legal distance away from me and be smart about it. Don't cut between two vessels like that. I don't care if I'm and it's not like I'm not visible. I've got a 360 safety flag. I've got a big orange flag that's standing up. Tasker, you're wearing a bright orange shirt.
And I'm not a small dude, so I know they saw me.
I'm a bright freaking blue. My Lightning kayak is a bright blue kayak.
Yeah.
Like, you can see me on the water. There's no excuse for, like, you didn't, and to be that close to the other boat, too. It was absolutely, ugh. I'm gonna let you guys just go from there.
It's just so obnoxious, and I was relieved to hear that when we ended up getting off the lake. I mean, we were within a half hour of getting off the lake, anyways. So as we were loading
our sign
up,
to get off, I think
it kind of was. And I know that I had mentioned this to you before that had even happened. I said, the nice thing about this getting out here early is that I know that there's a no wake until a certain period of time, but what's really nice about being out there super early is the drunks and the buffoons and the idiots that go out and want to just party boat all day aren't out there until 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So we were fortunate to be out there early enough that we were able to actually just enjoy ourselves and just kind of putt around and be able to just get out to a couple different spots and not have to worry about all of that chaos. But when we got off the lake, they were actually putting out a sign that said, like slow, no wake, or it was like a max speed of 10 miles an hour or whatever it was because of high water and all the rain that we had gotten. And Ritter, you said something to the people putting the sign out.
I was like, boy, that'd have been nice to have that earlier this morning.
And they knew exactly who we were talking about, and we told them what their boat looked like, and they said, it's all right, the DNR's already contacted them. So it was already it was somebody else who had already complained about these people and that the DNR was on it. So kudos to the DNR for being so proactive about that. But I don't know, man. It kind of was like, I don't know. It was good that you were there and you were so pissed and that you can actually stand up in your kayak, because I can't do that in mine because mine's a sit in. But, man, I don't know. It's just people are just such idiots.
If I try standing up, I fall over too.
Oh, I'd be in the drink halfway
in the water,
between
Ritter's
getting
yelling.
up.
Ritter's yelling, and we're just trying to stay afloat.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, I stand up. I'm pretty high above the water. It's not like you can't see me.
Oh,
like,
for
you
sure.
know that I'm there. That was just pure negligence on their part, and that's why I was absolutely so heated and ticked off about the whole situation. There's no place for that. There's no place.
No, it's trash
for putting people's essentially. I'm just saying, putting people's lives in danger.
Yeah.
So you can drag around someone on skis or a tube or whatever it would be. And I'm not saying my life in danger. The person that was on those skis,
right?
They were it's equally just as dangerous for them, because you're trying to cut between us. Say then he turns the boat, does something. Well, where's the skier going to go?
Right,
could go right into one of us,
right into the island,
or right. I mean, it's just there's so many places where that was just absolutely dangerous and ridiculous. And I feel like I'm just a broken record at this point by using all those words. But I mean, do you guys agree that there should be something that, like, in order to man any sort of vessel on the water, you should at least have to take some sort of online course to know the rules of the water? Am I ridiculous to say that? Like, even a kayak, just to know, like, you should just generally know the rules of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree too. And if you think it's a hoax or it's just the water, nothing can happen. Out by me in Oconomowoc, we've had 2 deaths on Lake LaBelle.
I know.
In the last 2 weeks, right?
And those are 35, and I'm not saying 35 years is whether you're mature or immature. Anybody can act the way, but you're jumping into water off of a pontoon boat, or you're doing things like that, and you're never coming up. Water is dangerous. I mean, I don't know. Growing up with or raising 2 children, I think there was a thing, and you can quote me on this. A person can drown in 2 inches of water or something like that. So you know what? Anything, a little knock, a little coming between the boats, the skier falls, knocks, hits his head on a ski, boom, he's gone. I mean, things happen drastically, and we've just seen that out here in the Oconomowoc area on Lake LaBelle. 2 deaths in one weekend is just incredible with the Washington County. Again, you were complimenting the DNR for coming out for that issue. We were complimenting the dive groups that were coming into the Washington County dive team, Waukesha, Western Lakes. I mean, the dive teams were coming out in an unfortunate situation, but gosh, water is dangerous. And when you do stupid things like that, people think water, you're invincible. No, water can kill.
That scenario too, like one of them I know specifically, is still so strange to me. And it's just like you wonder how or why or what. You mentioned it was like a 35-year-old male jumped into the water it was like 35 feet of water. So it's not like he jumped into like muck or something. It just jumped into the water and just disappeared. Like, how, why, what, was there alcohol, drugs involved? What, there's so many questions to it that it doesn't make sense. It's so strange.
Yeah. It's too bad. It's just so unfortunate.
I didn't know it. With those storms, did they jump in? Did they jump into a log? Did they hit a log, knock them out? Did they jump in the water? Were they, like you said, were they drinking? Did he have a heart attack and get caught? I mean, there's so many things that could happen, but you're like, gosh, it's weird, especially happening right away. It just seems like jump off the pontoon boat, and a lot of guys do that, whether they've been drinking or not. They relieve themselves or cool themselves down. People jump in the lake, but not coming back up is a crazy thing. What happened?
Yeah, it's a big thing with, triathlon races are notorious for, unfortunately, having a lot of these circumstances happening. You talk about people who have been training for these races for forever, and one of the biggest things to overcome with those races is if you don't get in the water early and acclimate to that, you're in total shock, and it just sends this signal through your body where you can easily go into cardiac arrest. And that is just one of the most unfortunate things. And they do a very, very nice job of, monitoring those and staffing those with kayakers and lifeguards and all of that stuff. But you just never know. I mean, you get these people who are incredibly fit. I mean, some of the fittest people on the earth that go out, and they still run into these situations where you just can't do anything about it. I mean, who could easily swim 3 miles without a problem? They jump into the water and it shocks them, and then they go into a cardiac arrest. It's something to be taken super seriously.
Life vest, man. No matter what you're doing, have a life vest on you.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. But yeah, So I feel like it's terrible to end the show on that note. Is there anything positive anyone wants to throw in?
Yeah, we're getting mechanical broadheads this year. That's what we're doing. That's positive. I can't wait. I'm going to Buckrup this afternoon to shoot, so I'm excited about that, and I'm sure there'll be more on that next week. But hey, man, good luck this weekend.
Oh, I forgot. But did you tell anybody about our sales, our fines? We have that fine, so I wanted to say that we've got some mineral blocks and some feed blocks and stuff like that. They're great sales. I think the things are starting to come with scent killer, whatever you want to do. Again, we always talk about upgrading our equipment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for anything in particular, but again, it's starting to come out. Shelves are starting to be full. There's a lot of things that are coming in new, and you always want to play with new toys. And now that baseball season's coming to a close at the end of August, again, all of my fishing is cold water fishing. It's largemouths up north. It's the muskies. It's rolling right into. So I juggle both with hunting, with the deer hunting and muskie fishing and fishing. So my summers are basically no hot water fishing, but cold water fishing is coming, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. We're turning over the calendar to August. Fall is right around the corner.
49 days, baby.
Not that we're counting or anything.
That was a way better way to end the show this time.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there. Again, you want to follow us on socials at On the Tailgate. I'm at The Real Ritter, at Wisco Bow Hunting for Eric Tasker, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a great week. This is Tailgate Talk.